DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Jokic.
Nikola Jokic.
Devin Booker, Paul George.
Devin Booker.
Paul George. Paul George. Paul George.
Devin Booker don't hit the side of the back.
Paul George. To say that Tracy McGrady, as much as my spiel was with Boogie, Biggie.
What do you think about this era? Might have like a similar, like might not have the playoff success or whatever that people be like, oh, he wasn't that good, even though he
Damian
was.
Lillard.
Absolutely.
I think it depends on what this next month looks like.
James Harden could go into that category too. Playoff history.
But he also has the MVP.
He has
though.
the MVP.
I think that might put him over the edge.
I mean, Iverson also has the MVP too.
Iverson has MVP.
So
That's true too.
good
If we count him, it's gonna be Russ, especially because the last couple years of his career hasn't been amazing as it was like 4 years ago.
I don't think the Timberwolves was ready to face that.
There is a pride thing with being a general manager. You see that right now with the Chicago Bulls, right? Everybody in the world knows that the Bulls should have made some adjustments, traded some pieces, but we gave all of it away for Vucevic and to build this core. We're going to double down. We're going to triple down. We're going to quadruple down. And that's exactly what the Wolves are probably going to do as well.
Just fucking reminded me. I told you I had somebody, KB,
Okay.
about the Tracy McGrady shit. You know, Paul George, bro.
Oh, damn. Paul George. Literally
Paul
Tracy
George is
McGrady,
not
bro.
going to get his love because they're not going to know how good he was pre-leg.
Tell him to
break.
lace his fucking shoes up there.
Damn.
What you mean lace his shoes up?
Play ball.
Yeah, he ain't hooping for real.
Who ain't hooping?
Bro, he wants to be a second option. What superstar wants to be a second option? Tell me.
I just
Tracy
think,
McGrady would never say, I'm going to be the second option.
I just think Paul George is that's just in his DNA to be
Paul George too humble.
be a friend. He is.
No, I'm
He
talking
needs to go
shit.
wear
Shout-
24
Shout,
to
shout out to
MVP.
PG. That's my dog.
He is. But
He
I just
was
think
13.
that when you talk about revisionist history and we have to revisit his career
Paul George
like
is closest
15
thing.
years from now, I don't think people are gonna be like, man, Paul George. They do it now. You see random people be like, man, look at Paul George highlight, and motherfuckers be like, damn, PG got the best handle. Like, duh. I hate to bring up PG because he's my guy, but when I just think about certain guys, I feel like pre-leg breaking, that motherfucker was
he was
on
going
ass.
toe to toe with LeBron.
He was on
in
ass
the playoffs,
and he's still a good.
The fact that he even came back from that is
at the level
ridiculous.
he's still a very good
he
guy.
had a crazy season with OKC after snapping his leg.
The award accolades numbers, that shit don't match up with the magnitude of Indiana PG, bro.
Yeah.
Indiana PG,
PG-13 was crazy.
no,
PG
24.
before the PG-13. But there was years before he was PG-13. I was saying, change your number to 13, motherfucker. The marketing will be crazy.
Yeah, because you love 13.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
You used to. People don't know you used to be PG-13 because you thought you was a point guard and the number 13. I'm for real.
Thought
I'm
you
not making
was
this shit up.
crazy. I definitely was a point guard.
Thought you was. You see outside.
For that Paul George got hurt, he came right back.
Oh, you still
But as a Paul George fanatic, I always say that injury took him out of his transition. As a Paul George, and I felt like he was on the heels of Kevin Durant. When he was going mano-a-mano with LeBron James in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't know if you remember that Pacer team after that. They was the number one team in the East.
Tatum or Devin Booker? I'll be the first answer. I'm taking Tatum.
I'll take Jason Tatum as well.
I'm going to take Jason Tatum just because he's doing more for his team. But I do love the way that Devin Booker gets to his spots to score.
Tatum or Paul George?
I got to go Paul George.
I'm going Paul George as well.
You know, that last playoff run he had when Kawhi went down? As a PG fan, he even exceeded my expectations. If Paul George game was an OnlyFans model, he'd be in the top 1%. Or whatever they
I was
call
about to
it.
say something crazy. People that have in the top 1%, they not satisfied with saying top 1%. They be saying top 0.0%.
Right, that's what Paul George game would be.
Okay. Would you subscribe to his OnlyFans if it was only highlights? This is the only place you can get PG highlights.
But
It's
this was
his
like-
own personal OnlyFans.
Was it game highlights?
It's just yes.
No, I want to see stuff that everybody else is seeing. Yes, but I'm not paying for shit everybody else seeing. That's like you. Would you pay? Would you pay for OnlyFans girl if she posts the same content on Twitter? No,
Absolutely not.
Right. So if
you'll do it
if
if, like-
GD can post it on YouTube, why am I paying for it?
It's only his own personal OnlyFans, and he's charging $9.99 a month.
That's it.
You down?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably paying for it. I'm gonna unsubscribe at some point because then I'm gonna have to resubscribe, or I can always go to Reddit.
It's own little
I can
subreddit.
always go to
PGOF.
Reddit. The PGOF.
Has a lot to do with Coach Michael Malone. Sorry.
Especially with MPJ having a stinker every year he was having.
Yep.
My MVP. I don't want to name the dudes y'all gonna name. Fuck them. Paul George.
I knew he was gonna
baby.
say Paul
I
George.
already knew
He
that was
was
coming.
Ooh-wee. Shout out to Paul and them Clippers on that winning streak. Boy, stop playing on PG. It's real quiet on Twitter. It's real quiet on Twitter.
It is.
And I want y'all to keep it that way. Stop playing with that boy. PG-13. We on motherfuckers' asses. For real, for real. We on motherfuckers' ass. Hey, call me and PG. We the diaper boys. Because we on y'all ass like a diaper. You understand what I'm talking about? Yes, sir. That's all I got to say with the MVP talk. I'll let y'all have the rest. Mic drop. PG.
Who's your number one, D Millie?
Like, what do I see the vision for my for my shows, and this one included? And we were talking about this one. I said, you cannot convince me that we can create the number one basketball podcast that's not led by a former athlete.
Yeah.
We probably won't be catching up to Paul George, all of those things. But when it comes to people,
his bag yet.
exactly. But when it comes to people that don't have ties to the
That
actual
sound like
league,
lazy. I meant that because he plays with Russ. He plays with Kawhi.
Yeah, he ain't got the
pulled
heavy
on-
hitters just yet.
Yeah, he ain't.
And
That
we know he
lazy
can.
that He ain't got
Yeah.
his bag yet. It's crazy.
Meat Writer of the Year. The category. Mike for the Lakers.
Oh yeah, you won.
P for Paul George, Ben Simmons. Emails
I
for
might have
Dame.
won.
Or
Kenny
Kenny for
Rudy
Gobert. So there's
It's-
some good
it's-
categories.
I think it's probably me for Gobert, especially considering the time
Mike
that it
for
came
Lakers.
out.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mike for the Lakers.
P for Paul George / Ben Simmons. So that's pretty spread
Hey,
out.
yesterday, I know we was joking at Discord, but we talk about Donovan Mitchell, and P was like, well, if Paul George has 71, it wouldn't even be a story because he just do that. I'm like, oh, hell no. Hell no.
Kawhi stats?
Yeah, these are Kawhi stats.
I got Paul George stats up.
27.9 points per game,
27.1,
8 rebounds,
8.1,
3 assists,
4 assists,
50% from the field,
44.7,
37 for 3,
40.2,
85 from the free throw,
83,
55 effective field goal percentage,
3.5.
PER of 27.3,
23.9,
and win shares of 6.6.
7.6.
That's crazy.
They're very similar. Two questions.
Go ahead.
If y'all picking a player out of these two to win a game tonight, who are you picking?
Paul George.
It's hard to say.
Paul George.
Because I feel like it's very.
I
It's got to put some factors in there.
I like Paul George's ability to go get his own shot more
Yeah.
consistently. I know
He's a
I know
much better
Kawhi
shot
can
creator
do,
than Kawhi.
Kawhi can do his thing. Don't make that face like Kawhi fucking with him.
I'm
in that
taking
level.
if
But he's still very good at it.
He is.
It's just not. It's just not as memorable because it's slow and
I might be
it's
taking
boring.
Kawhi in that
We get it
situation.
done. Franchise. You building a franchise. You picking one of these two cats. Return.
I'm going Kawhi.
I'm going Kawhi too.
Without knowing like the rest of my roster, I'm just going Kawhi.
Paul George.
I got to go Paul George.
What makes you say without knowing the rest of your roster? We haven't seen Kawhi just be thrown on any roster either.
The reason I would go Kawhi is because I would say he's been doing this a little bit longer.
No, I'm asking Mike.
Oh, okay.
Because he said, without knowing my roster, I'm gonna take Kawhi. But why do you say that? Because we haven't seen Kawhi without. Like the Raptors were first seed last year. The Spurs have been the Spurs since he came there. They've been a playoff team.
I think I could look to Kawhi to be more of my number one guy. I know we know Paul George is our number one option right now, but we also talked about how Paul George is not always the best without another floor general, another superstar on his team like that.
Like I said, I'm able enough to step away and look at the things, but I got Paul George is my boy, and I'm rolling with him. You know what I mean?
Time on this series. It's over.
Shout out to Dame. That was a bad shot. I agree with Paul George. It was better offense.
Would it be a bad shot? Would it be a bad shot if
That's
Steph
a
took it?
game-winning shot with the.
If Steph took it, would you say it's a
All
bad
them
shot?
shots that Steph take are bad shots. Just because you make them don't mean it's a good shot.
Nah,
I disagree.
No, I
Exactly.
disagree.
If they
You
make
have
them
to
at
go-
A 40-foot shot
that's
is
still
never
a
a good
game-winning
shot.
shot.
37
That's a
foot.
game-winning
A 40-foot
shot.
shot is never a good
That's
shot.
Yeah, but if
game-winning
they
shot,
make them
though.
What does that
consistent,
mean?
if they
Get
make
a
them,
hand up.
If a dude hit
He
a
shot-
half,
he
if a
shot
dude hit a half-court
60%.
shot on you,
He
and
shot
then go in.
60%.
I mean, it was like 3 seconds left.
so if
You
he
got to
could
get a hand. I don't care. You got to get a contest on that. It don't matter where he at.
then you're questioning defense. You're not questioning the shot. You're talking about his defense. I'm talking
He
about
says
the
it was a
shot.
bad- he
It
played-
was a bad shot. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
I'm saying.
You're saying he has to get
Regardless,
up.
though, he still
what
has to
he
get
does
up.
that doesn't reflect his shot. I'm talking about the shot. You're talking about the defense. Those are two different things.
I missaid it. I mean that regardless if it's a bad shot or not, he still has to get a hand up on a game-winning shot.
That's fine.
I don't
but
think-
it's a bad shot to me.
but
That's a bad shot.
I'm saying that's a bad excuse
If
for his
you-
defense.
I'm never going to tell somebody to go take that shot. If you hit it, hey,
That's if he hits it. That's the series, though.
It is a series, but
that's what I'm saying. With so much on the line, you can't give up nothing.
If we're at the gym and a dude hit that shot on you, you about to. What you saying to yourself?
But he's been hitting it. He's been hitting it all series.
Between it's a fine line between the YMCA.
If you're in an elimination game and a dude hit a shot like that, are you going and you beating yourself up?
No, but I'm gonna make sure I get a hand up on that shot. Yeah.
Are you tipping?
Yeah, that's on me.
I think it's both.
It's both
because he shot 60% from that range the entire series.
That don't make it a good shot though.
60%.
That don't make it a good. That means
if a dude is shooting 60%,
that means Damian Lillard hit some tough shots.
Which means if he's shooting, if percentage matters when it comes to deciding a good versus bad shot. If I have Steven Adams shooting,
if that's true.
If I have Steven Adams shooting a 3, even if it's literally on the line, that's a bad shot because it's a 0% 3-point shooter. Now, if I have Stephen Curry taking that same shot, it's a good shot because it's Stephen Curry because he shoots 45% from there. Yes, I'm very serious.
I mean, that
why
is.
the fuck would you ever have Steven Adams?
Because that's a bad shot, right? Because he shoots 0%.
But we're talking about personnel.
Right, personnel. Damian Lillard shot 60% from there. It's a good shot.
He can make them, but that's not a good shot.
He's one of the best at making those limitless threes.
Okay. So same situation. You can make threes, right?
Yes.
As Pierre can make threes.
Yes.
Your 3-point shot, same shot as I take, is a better shot for you because you can make them more consistently than me.
Yes, but that's just a 3-point shot. We're talking about a 40-foot shot.
37-foot shot.
He said Stephen Curry. That's why I said 40. He's the one that takes the 40. But 37, you round it up as 40.
I think it's a good shot considering the personnel.
What he just said, that's a great point. James Harden takes bad shots, but he makes them. That's not a shot you
But it makes it a good shot because it's James Harden doing it.
That makes James Harden a hell of a player. And that makes Damian Lillard a hell of a player. But if we're at the gym, and I'm gonna ask you, because I know you're not gonna be like, well, it's the gym and not game 7.
No, go ahead. I'm gonna answer the question too.
If we're at the gym, right, and Tyler is hitting them step back threes on you, and you're gonna be like, damn,
that's a bad shot.
You gonna say it's a bad shot? You're gonna tip your cap down.
But right, it comes down to.
And that's what Paul George was in a situation where,
I'm sorry, that's a bad example because Tyler is. I'm gonna give my hats off to him because he's not gonna do shit like that.
No, we'll put it in perspective for them. Would you rather have TJ? If TJ McConnell is hitting step back threes, you'll live with that because you're personnel.
Yep. If James Harden is doing, you're gonna live with it too. Because what can you do if James Harden just make a step back three?
But that's what makes it a good shot because it's James Harden, not TJ McConnell. Right.
Yep.
James Harden hit the most step backs in NBA history.
I see what you're saying, but it still doesn't make it a good shot to me personally because it's just like that's not. We can get so much better shots.
But the NBA is
because you know what. When it's a good shot because it goes in. That's my point. But when you miss them, that's a dumbass shot.
But then also Paul George set back on him. He let him size that shot up for the whole possession.
But listen to what you're saying though.
What?
I agree with that. You're characterizing the defense. My point of view on what I'm saying is about the shot. Could Paul George have crowded on him better? Because you only have 2 seconds. He can't beat you when it's down to 2 or 1 seconds. I agree with that. I'm talking about the shot. If I'm playing defense and a dude hit a 37-foot shot on me to win the game, I am not gonna break my neck or kill myself about it. I'm gonna be like,
but it technically wasn't
that
even
was
like
a bad shot, but he
wasn't even on
him.
It was essentially like an open shot.
We should move on because we got a lot of series to talk about. But my last comment on this is the NBA is a game of percentages, and if a guy is shooting 60% on a shot, that's a good shot. That would be my closing statement.
People pick up Steph at half court. You're supposed to pick up Dame and Steph at half court because they can shoot from the logo.
And like they work on all of that shit constantly. And it's just like, I feel the same way with Dame. A lot of the shots, people be like, man, Dame hit crazy. Dame works on those shots. Mm-hmm. He works on it. That's why I was with Paul George, like, that's a bad shot. But it's like, it's not a bad shot because Dame works on that shot. And once I think my dad said that to me, and I was like, oh, you know what? You're right then. That's a bad NBA shot, but it's not a bad shot for Dame because he literally works on that shot for